Hey guys, happy Sunday! Yay! So, wow, oh my goodness, so many cool things going on and happening. I hope that you are all having a beautiful Sunday. And to those who are celebrating Easter next Sunday, I hope that you have a wonderful Easter, you and your family. And I know that many of us just came off from celebrating Ostara. So, yay! Hey, Susie. And I know there's wonderful celebrations going on around the world right now for kind of the turn of season, whether you are in the northern hemisphere and you're kind of celebrating the welcoming in of spring and the warming of the earth, whereas in the southern hemisphere, there's a kind of a cooling off, a hold your horses kind of feeling going on. And so I know there's lots of celebrations going on with that. And actually, I did a little chat about Ostara in my newsletter. So hopefully you guys got the newsletter yesterday. Hey, Lisa! And actually, Lisa was in the newsletter. I was put a little shout out to her channel in there. So you guys definitely go check her out. And the night daughter, what is up? She says, Merry meet everyone. So yeah, it's a beautiful day out here today. It's a little windy, but I figured we'd be okay in this spot. I don't know if you guys want to see. This is kind of like my little picnic area. So I like to kind of eat in here. You're kind of surrounded by the trees and everything, so you have ample shade and also sun if you wanted to have a little bit of sun. But this is kind of a favorite spot of mine. And since I get internet service on this side of the hill, I figured we could have our live chat down here, and hopefully our lovely junipers and pinyon pines will block some of the wind for us. So, okay, let me scoot back just a little bit. I feel like I'm all like my face is all up in the camera. But anyway, like I said, I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Let me know if you guys have some stuff cooked up for today. Do you guys have anything going on this week? Like I said, I know that there are some celebrations going on this week with a lot of our Christian friends celebrating Easter, and our pagan homies just got finished celebrating Ostara. Although Ostara would be coming up in the old tradition, so it's just so interesting to kind of see how looking back on ancient celebrations, how they have shifted and changed kind of to fit our modern society. So technically, Ostara would have been celebrated pretty soon. It wouldn't have occurred yet. But when we do celebrate Ostara, that would have been considered Ladies' Day. But Ladies' Day has kind of been taken by the Catholic Church, and it's just interesting, kind of the meshing and the mixture of like religions and beliefs. And I just find it all very fascinating. So that's maybe I don't know, the English teacher in me just likes to read up on stuff and kind of see like where'd that come from, and you're like, why do people do that? And that's interesting. And what are the correlations? What makes people more unique in their beliefs and their cultures, but also what is similar? What brings them together? I think is an interesting thing to look at. Okay, let's see. Oh, Night Daughter said, if you missed Heather's announcement, she'll be off social media for a year. Yeah, you know what? And I have been taking a little bit of a step back from social media. I mean, obviously, I still would love to continue my Sunday live chats, and put out a channeling video. But James and I, for now, have ceased our walk in chats, so our walkabout. So, if I end up making another different type of video, we'll put that out there. But just kind of pulling back on some videos, posting when we can on Instagram, but wanting to just really take in the, I would say, changes of the season, but also changes in our bodies, our energy, the downloads that we're getting. We really want to have time away from all of that to kind of just be with ourselves and work on our healing, so that when we, I guess, well, going through this kind of metamorphosis, we can come back and help even more people and also get to know ourselves even more. So just doing a bit of that and just appreciating the place in which we live. It is a very healing place. We are very grateful. We are very fortunate to be here, and we do want to work with our land a little bit more now that the weather is a little bit better. So definitely starting to get that shed in and working on our solar and just really getting to know and the energy even more around here. So, yes. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back here. Susan said, Heather and I are friends. Yes, Caitlin, I know. Night Daughter said, I had to give away my dogs. Oh, no. Definitely sorry to hear that. Lisa said, I do love Easter. I set up an altar for Mother Mary and Christ Jesus, like Lord and Lady. Very nice. And Susie said, Lisa, I have been called lately to work with Jesus. Yeah, I think this year for me, his energy has kind of been coming in strong. So yeah, kind of working with him and the Divine Feminine, Mother Mary, and a lot of Divine Feminine of other cultures too as well. So it's kind of like I don't know, maybe it's the balance kind of coming in, a lot of Divine Masculine and Feminine coming in to work together. And I think that is amazing. So excellent. Let's see. Susie's been asking him for guidance. Hey, Dana, what up, girlfriend? And Lisa said, Susie has never let me down. I work closely with him too. Actually, we had our friend came over yesterday. He was out riding his dirt bike around and he asked if he could come over and visit. And we ended up hanging out pretty late last night. We made a campfire and we made some corn on the cob on the campfire, which was pretty cool. Made some mashed potatoes and some bread and stuff like that. And we're just chit chatting and having a good time. And our friend is a devout Christian, and so he he's like we made friends with him up here. We're still kind of like getting to know him as a friend. So he had all kinds of questions like what do you guys believe in, and what are your thoughts on Christ, and what are your beliefs, like when it comes to good and evil and all this. So we're expressing our beliefs, and he was like, oh, that's interesting. He says, okay, he says, I can kind of see that, because we're like, we don't really see God as outside of ourselves, but we see God as in everything and in all of us. That if God created everything and God is everything, then God is us. He is the light and the dark, or if you wanted to give it a persona like a he. But we prefer to call that energy source energy. And he was like, okay. He says, okay, I could dig that. Like, he says, yeah. He goes, for me, he goes, I see it as like God and Jesus as being one and the same. So we had this like kind of whole discussion. It was kind of cool. And yeah, we just kind of went for a nice walk, a nice sunset walk, and had some good combo. So yeah. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello, skis. Night Daughter says, I bought 2 new dresses from the young women's section for my trip. I haven't been able to buy anything from that section since I was 16. Well, fancy, fancy. And she says, I am 29 now. Aw. Lisa said, Tara, absolutely all one. Yes. All right, you guys. So I have my little notes here. But before we get started in our reading and all the good stuff that I love to share with you guys, I want to give a thank you to everybody who supports this channel and everything that I do here. You guys are amazeballs, and I want to start off with my subscribers. So thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. Even now, it like blows my mind that there's like over 9,000 subscribers. I'm like, whoa. I remember when there was 2, and I was like, who are these 2 people? Whoa, 2 people think this channel is cool. Turns out it was 2 people that I knew, but that's okay. And anyway, so thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to everybody who joins in on the live chats, everybody who chats with us and does little readings, and even to my lurkers. Thank you guys as well. And all the people that send little donations every now and then. I do truly appreciate those. Sometimes people do little tips, after readings I do for them, they send a little tip, or sometimes after a live chat, somebody will send a little something, and I truly appreciate it. And thank you also to my YouTube members. You'll notice who they are because they have the little colored kitty head next to their name in various colors of the chakras. So thank you to my YouTube members. You guys know who you are: Susie and Lisa and Heather and Kayla and Jamie Lynn. Thank you guys so much. And to my patrons. So over on Patreon, I have different tiers. So it's kind of whatever you're comfortable with. Some people just start at the $3 tier, but that gives you basically a monthly guided meditation. I do my YouTube poll. So my Patreon members get polled just like my YouTube members and the public. So technically they get a couple of votes. And also they get like weekly, it's kind of like a blog post. I call it daily or weekly guidance, but it's guidance, but also a blog post. So it's like my ramblings. And sometimes I have discounts, which actually I should be putting another discount into my Patreon membership for readings and things like that. And then my YouTube members, they got all these like cool emojis that you guys can see. And the more members I get, the more emojis I can create for them. So, and it's a wonderful support. So thank you guys. But my patrons, thank you to Surian, and thank you to Brandy and Samara and Kayla, Jason, Charles, Brian, Jamie, Alexandra, and Dana. So thank you guys so much. All right, so let's grab our goodies here for today. All righty, let me go back and see what y'all is saying here. Night Daughter says, it's a little much on top, so I'm going to have to wear a cardigan. I love me a nice, cozy cardigan. Susie said, love your outfit as always. Thank you. Actually, you know what? I haven't bought new clothes in a bit, and this is one of my new sweater tops that I got in town. So let's see. Night Oracle says, I'm up to 36 now. Last I checked. Oh, wow. And Susie coming in with all the lovely emojis, as well as Lisa. Okay, so let's go ahead and call in the elements and call in the 4 directions, just to bring us into a nice sacred space. Remember that energy does not know space or time. So whenever it is that people watch this, you are included within that space. All right, so getting nice and centered. And I'm going to go ahead and take my right hand, just kind of put it over my heart, and calling in the energy of fire, the element of fire, that fiery orb in the sky at this moment, beating down, feeling so good in the 60-some degree weather, thanking it for its warmth, thanking it for its life-giving energy, for the photosynthesis. It helps with the plants, the energy. It helps with the animals that are re-emerging, and all the lizards I've been seeing, all the babies, baby horny toads, the re-emergence of the cactus. It's been dormant. All the juniper berries coming out on our trees, all the new pine nuts coming from our pinyon pines, and the life that it gives to us. Also coming in and calling the element of the wind, the element of air, which blows right now, helping to clear our skies, to clear our air, to clear our energy, both physically and energetically. And together with fire, helping to burn away and clear away that which no longer serves us. And calling in as well the element of water, the water that rushes below the surface at 600 feet, the water that used to be a big, beautiful lake here at one time, whose evidence can be seen in the prehistoric seashells imprinted into our rocks, in ancient sea life, the sand that we can still dig our toes into, the water that clears away, washes away that which no longer serves us, helping to feel reborn anew into a new day. Calling also the element of earth, Mama Gaia, that of my namesake, terra firma, as my feet are firmly planted on the ground, touching all these magical earthen rocks mixed with volcanic, watery pebbles, beautiful pottery from civilizations past, all beneath my feet, all connected to earth. And I ask you to ground us and help to clear our energy as we remember where our earthly bodies come from and come back to. And so it is. All right, you guys. Let's see. Night Daughter was laughing at the name Brian. Susie saw all the lizards. Yeah, we have to be very careful where we walk because the little baby lizards are about this big. The horny toads are about this big right now. And they're the color of the dirt, so they're red. And they just kind of like scurry, but then they stop to look at you. You can have a little conversation with them and then you leave and like just wave goodbye and they're just like, okay. So it's nice to see them back. I miss them, this winter. Night Daughter said, air from the east in Nyx's name, I call you forth to bless us with your knowledge. Fire from the south in Nyx's name, I call you forth to bless us with your creativity. Water from the west. Yes, and Susie's saying, Lisa, they do push-ups here. Yes, I love my little lizard push-ups. Sometimes, maybe this summer, I'll get into another push-up contest with the lizard, but there was a lizard named Fredo, who I don't know, maybe he went south for the winter, but he used to live right underneath our cabin in the wood there. And we had to be careful when we step down that we don't step on him. And it used to be him and his wife, but then they had like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 children. And and it was a whole little Fredo lizard family. And Fredo would sometimes be out there doing push-ups for his like little lady lizard. And so I'd be like trying to do push-ups with Fredo, um, let's see. Night Daughter said, Nyx's name, I call you forth to bless us with your cleansing rain. Earth from the north in Nyx's name, I call you forth to bless us with your grounding love. And from the center, spirit. In Nyx's name, I call you forth to grant us protection. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Lisa said, some have the rarest newts here. Only the Netherlands have them too. King crest newts. Oh! Oh, Heather, hey, how are you, girl? All righty, so with all that beautiful energy coming in, let's talk about the Mayan date. And guess what? We are at a brand new Trecena. Today is the first day, and first days are very powerful. So today is a 1 day. That's new beginnings. Anything that you really want to give extra oomph to, whether you are doing spell work, you are doing prayer, you are doing meditation, if you are wanting to begin a project, or maybe you want to work on a new mindset, today is a wonderful day to do that. But today is one Ish. So Ish is known as the jaguar, and you think of the jaguar making sure that every step that it takes is with intent. It's present. It can't have its mind anywhere else. So if you want to bring yourself into the present, you want to have full focus and attention. You want to be able to see through the night, just like Ish can do, the jaguar, having that beautiful night vision, being able to see beyond what we can normally see, not in the physical daytime, but just in, let's say, the symbolic sense. We can call on Ish's energy. But also, Ish, the jaguar, is representative of nature itself in the Mayan belief. So today is a beautiful day to get out into nature. And I know that it was a little windy today, but I was like, I need to be out here in this live chat in nature, and I want to take you guys to my special spot, which is my little picnic spot here. So being out in nature reminds us of who we are. Our bodies come from this earth, and sometimes it's easy to become disconnected, with all the technology that we have around us, and the cars and the pavement and the buildings and all of that. But to go back and to reconnect the way our ancestors did, to reconnect to the animals, to the rocks, to the air, the elements, all of it, trees, and being able to speak to them in their unique languages, which is something that we can all do, but perhaps many of us have forgotten. And we can call on Ish today to help us to remember our connection to everything that is, both within this universe and beyond. So I wish you guys well in whatever endeavors it is you decide to go into today. But as we float along in this Trecena, we go into 7 Ahau, which will be landing on Saturday, the day before Easter, I believe, and just a couple of days after our full moon. So whoop, whoop. But Ahau is representative of the sun. That's that beautiful orb in the sky that I see right up there. And the number 7 is about death, transformation, but also overcoming difficulties. So if you would like to utilize Ahau's energy, which is representative of the sun, but it's representative of the hero twins as well in Mayan mythology, where there are these twins and they are great warriors. And so having that warrior spirit doesn't always mean physically fighting, but being able to understand one's strengths, but also one's weaknesses, and working on the weaknesses and not disregarding the darkness within us, but being able to understand the balance and keeping things into balance. And as we bring things into balance, we can more easily go headlong into our difficulties, our blockages, and things like that. So if you feel like you need some extra help in balancing yourself, let's say coming Saturday, um, then call on that Ahau energy and say, I want to work on this project, or I want to overcome this shadow, or I want to work with this trauma, or I just want to see the darkness within myself so that I can understand it. I can, own it, but also I can work to heal it. I can shed light on it. And we can call the hero twins in for that. We can call in that sun, solar, Ahau energy with that number 7, that beautiful death and rebirth, that transformation. So, all right. We have a beautiful week in terms of Mayan astrology, but I know that all of the astrologies, whether you're into Western, Vedic, you know, all the different types that are out there, that they all seem to sync up in their own unique ways. They have similar messages, but with very unique points of view. So I encourage you guys to learn about all the different astrologies that are out there. And if you are a student of one, check out others, and see how they correlate, and see, what information you can get from one that can help you with the information with another. So yay to all my astrologers out there. Let's see here. Let's go back. Do, 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 do. Everybody saying hello to Heather. Susie said, love that. Silver Star says, last I've been in for a while. I'm going off of social media for the next year. My guides threw me a curveball. I did an announcement in my last live. Yes. And like I said, I totally agree. I think that it's very beneficial for us, especially now, to take more time out for the self and healing, balancing, reconnecting, sitting with all those downloads. So, yeah, got you, girl. Let's see. Go back here. Susie said, I honor your choices, Heather, as do I. Silver Star said, not everyone was there. Night Daughter's Oracle, and I'm letting Tara know. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Lisa says, I know you're doing some amazing healing, Heather. That's really cool. Dana said, wishing you so many amazing things on the next part of your journey, Heather. Definitely second that. Said, Heather had a past life in Delphi. I feel this so important to humanity. Exactly. So she is a high priestess like Tara. Aw, thanks. Said, Caitlin, I don't have a name. It came to me on her last video. All right. And Dana said, I agree. They're all wonderful, and I feel have a great purpose in helping us. Night Daughter said, Pythia was the first oracle of Delphi. Nice. Dana said, feels so Jupiter and Aries. Taking care of the self is so needed. Exactly. And it's a lot of people's bodies are continuing to change. And physically, I think we feel it on a physical level, but it's more energetic. So a lot of people, again, with the dental stuff, James's mom, actually, her crown also fell out on the left side. And then we were talking to his cousin yesterday, and his cousin's, ex-boyfriend, he said that his crown had fallen out as well. So, like all these crowns for some reason falling out of people's mouths. We talked about that last Sunday. You know, somebody hurt their foot on the left hand side, a lot of left hand stuff. Some other people, it's have been getting weird rashes lately. A lot of mouth stuff, like stuff going on in the jaw and the mouth, weird rashes, interesting injuries, flus, like just getting sick out of nowhere. But like I said, it's this weird, change, a lot of different energies going on, and I think that it's just our body's reaction to it. But again, whatever it is that you're going through, continue to send light through it, and remember that you are that light as well. So lots of love out there. And Heather said, I'm so excited for this next part. When the ancestors call you, answer. Exactly, exactly. Night Daughter said, my live with Paula yesterday kept repeating the same message: relax and trust. Yes, definitely. All right. Okay. So this next part, I wanted to change it up because it is a live chat, and I want to include you guys as always. I want to have a nice conversation. And you know that I always choose an herb for you guys, but I thought, since many of you guys love working with herbs, I would like you guys to share this time what herb you would like to work with this week. And so I know that there's probably going to be a lot of different answers. I know not everybody considers them like a green witch or a kitchen witch, but some people consider themselves like an apothecarist, or a gardener, or a botanist. People that just like to work with plants. So what plant specifically, or what herb do you want to work with this week? I pose that question to you guys. All right. Susie's coming in with cayenne pepper. All right. Lisa with rosemary. I'll say for me, I'm coming in with basil, basilica. Basil is, for me, really good at not only seasoning your food and making it totes delicious, but but also I've been having a lot of stuff with the head lately, like headaches here and there. So, um, oh, hey, James is here. He's just checking in from the G cabin. It's windy out there. Well, you know what? The trees here are blocking the wind pretty well, so I think we're okay. What do you guys think? Microphone? Okay, okay. I mean, I'm trying to get it blocked here. Um, let's see. Oh, Silver Star is going to be working with rose hips. Excellent. Okay, all right. Excellent, excellent. Night Daughter says, I don't work with herbs, but I have scented perfumes. Cherry blossom is my favorite. All right. So, you know what? Actually, I have a little bit of cherry blossom, Japanese cherry blossom body spray that my brother gave me one year for Christmas. So I like to spritz around every once in a while my cherry blossom. But yeah, basil I feel is really good. I made a tea for my headache, works faster than ibuprofen. And it was mixed. Let's see, what did I put in there? I put rosemary, thyme, basil, and was it cardamom? Something like that. Basically, it tasted like pizza, but it was tea. It was really good and really helped my headache. But mostly, I think it was like the basil that was in there. Basil is really good for alleviating head pressure and things like that. So within about 15-20 minutes, headache was gone. So yeah, for me, I would say basil this week. All right, you guys. Okay, so let's see. Going on into the forecast. Let's do it. Silver Star said hibiscus and rose hip. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I love the kind of tanginess of hibiscus, and also the fact that it turns my tea a delicious shade of like reddish pink, like fuchsia. I think that that's great. And then rose hips, I would say, is my favorite for not only teas, but anything skincare related. Like when I make my salves, it has really good, when you break open the rose hip and you get to the little tiny seeds inside, I think that they have a lot of very powerful antioxidants and are really good at like eradicating free radicals and things like that. So if you're doing anything with the face, like my Goddess of the Rose salve that I do sell in my shop in case you guys are interested. I didn't realize I was just plugging myself, but I guess I am. But, yeah, that salve, like, lasts forever, which is why it takes people forever to, like, buy another jar because it lasts forever. So it's good stuff. A little goes a long ways, and it's really good for underneath the eyes. But I feel like whenever I have skin issues, my Goddess of the Rose salve, it's got those rose hips, it's got rose petals in there, it's got vitamin E, good stuff. Let's see. Night Daughter said it was Japanese, or I was Japanese in one of past lives. Interesting. James says, hello, everyone. I hope you're all well, grounded, and connected today. Hit the like if you haven't yet. Thank you. Susie said, best salve in the world, Tara's salves. Thank you. All righty. Okay, so let's get to the forecast. And you know what? Let me show you the decks that I'm working with because for some reason I'm just like attracted to my food deck. So anything with food, I'm like, let's use those. Um, let's see. Heather said, I used rose hip oil on my skin or sweet almond oil. Ooh, that's nice. And Caitlin said, Tara, it's funny you don't have your hubby as a mod. Well, he rarely pops in, you know. I could do this, but yes, I could. Dana said, oh, I missed it. What's good for under the eyes? I use my Goddess of the Rose salve. So it's a salve that I basically soak for a while, like a long while, like months. My rose petals, rose hips, and a couple other things. And then I add vitamin E oil after I strain it out and a little bit of beeswax to hold it all together. And I think there's a couple other things I add in there for the skin. But basically, under the eyes, I don't know if it's like my good genetics or my salve or both, but I feel like there's no aging going on under my eyes. So, and it's really good for puffiness because my eyes get a little puffy in the morning. Let's see. Susie said, sweet almond is so good. Heather's asking James if he's absolutely well. And Lisa said, sweet almond. Yeah, that's divine. Susie said, glamour magic. It's great for, yes. James said, I'm well. We had a friend over at a fire last night and barbecue corn, so the spirits were high. Yep. Let me see. There we go. Okay. Okay, just made a couple of little adjustments right there, right quick. Okay, so here are the food decks. I have my food fortunes. If you guys want to go grab your decks right now, I encourage you guys to do so. Or if you're going to channel some messages, get yourself nice and grounded. If you want to bust out any sort of other divinatory tool, go ahead and grab those. Let us know what you guys are working with. Silver Star said, you should do a class on some good stuff on skincare and recipes to try out. I could do that. That'd be cool. James says the way I wrote that implies we ate our friend. We didn't. Although he thought. He kept wondering if we were gonna like push him off a cliff or we're like, what? Okay. Let's see. I also have the Wicked Egg Oracle. And I have the Ice Cream Oracle, brought to you by the Ice Cream Oracle. And she created the Wicked Egg as well. I also have the Happy Tarot today because it's got little candies and stuff in it. And I don't know, it kind of goes along with the whole food thing. And then I have a non-food deck, and that's the Earthly Souls and Spirits. We're not eating spirits. So unless you're thinking of like spirits, in which case that's not that deck. But anyway. Okay, so food fortunes. Let's go ahead and bust it out and see what we have going on this week. All right, I think I got all the cards. All right, so what decks are you guys working with? Let me know. But let's see what this week, like I said, many are celebrating Easter this coming Sunday. I think there's Passover happening. There's the full moon. There's Ostara in the old tradition. People just kind of hanging out and loving loving the warmer weather, you know, here in the northern hemisphere. So Let's see, Heather said, that's wonderful. James says, I'm going to use 2 decks that I received for my birthday, the Precious Light Oracle and Star Codes Astro Oracle. Very cool. That's right, you guys. Our friend Heather had herself a nice birthday. Happy birthday. And our friend Dana actually has a birthday coming up. And actually, my dad's birthday is coming up as well. April 5th, my dad will be 83. Lisa says, I've got my pendulum well charged. If my spirit guide wants to talk, I will channel her. Excellent. Caitlin said, beauty tip, if you've never colored your hair or had it permed, blondes use lemon juice instead of conditioner. Brunettes use vinegar, and my lovely African Americans use olive oil. Very nice. Heather's got the Wally's World. Hey! Susie says, I'm going with any thoughts I get as a download. Perfect. Perfect. Heather said, the Priestess of Light Oracle. Okay, there we go. And Caitlin says, let me get my decks. All right. And Susie wishing a happy early birthday to Dana. Dana says, yay, it's on April 6th, which I believe is Thursday. Thursday is actually the day I go back to the dentist. So we're going to have to wish a little happy birthday to Dana. We're going to have to sing a little happy birthday there. Silver Star said, I did. It was super chill, just what I needed. Excellent. All right. So let's get a little shuffle on, and then we'll do a little happy birthday singing, I think. Okay. What do we got going on this week? What do we got going on this week? What do we have going on this week? I'm a pull. I feel pulled to pull 3 cards. Okay. Oh, okay. It's going to be 4 cards. That's cool too. Heather says, I won't be on to tell you. I'm telling you now. Happy birthday, dear. Everybody, oh, Susie's sending good vibes for the dentist. It'll be cool. It'll be fine. James said, happy birthday to all the Aries, all the Aries folks out there. Alrighty, let's see what we have. We have the mispronounced. So this would be the 2 of mains. So this is like the 2 of swords. We got the mispronounced. Is it gyro? Is it gyro? Is it hero? Who knows? Then we have the iced one, and this would be considered the 4 of cups. Susie said that is clever. Oh, Janine is here. It says, today, La Terre de Marseille. The Weight and Pixie's Astounding Lenormand. Excellent. All right, and then we have the straight shooter. This one is like the 8 of fire. What's it? Yeah, 8 of fire, 8 of wands. And then we have the greens, which would be like our 6 of pentacles. All right, some interesting foods here. We have a gyro, we have a iced tea, we have like whip, and we have some greens, like collard greens. Oh my goodness, so many interesting foods for this week. Lisa said, my nephew's birthday is on Tuesday. Whoop, whoop. Caitlin said, I'm back with the Goddess Power, Mystic Sisters, and Wild Muse Oracles. Susie's sending some hugs. James said, it's hero. Janine, my birthday is the 10th, but I won't be watching next Sunday. Loved your last 2 lives. Been able to watch in peace. Very nice. We'll have to include you in a very happy birthday as well. Okay, so let's see what they're saying here with all these interesting foods. Okay, let me just take it all in first. Okay. Simplifying. I'm getting overall that the way to navigate, again, your choice, you have your free will, but to navigate this week is all about simplifying that I think definitely connects with me because I like to overcomplicate things, especially in my speech. I know that I am very long winded sometimes when I could say some things in a very short sentence. And so perhaps it is about that as well. This week, you could simplify the language, but also simplifying our thoughts. Sometimes we tend to overthink things and throwing ourselves into a tizzy when we don't need to be in that energy. It throws us off our grounding. It's harder to make decisions. It's harder to see things clearly when we have too much going on in our minds. So, meditation is also key this week. I know some of you guys are daily meditators, but just a reminder to get a meditation in if you're feeling like your thoughts are a bit cloudy or that you're a little off kilter. It's just time to put your feet back into the soil. And if that's not possible, then hold your best grounding rock and get yourself down into Gaia's energy and be reminded of where you come from. But this is also simplifying our routines and the things that we do. Oftentimes, we want to get a lot done. We decide today's the day where I'm just going to do all of my spring cleaning and everything is going to be right now. And then we put all these things onto our plate. And when we don't accomplish everything that we thought we would, we get ourselves stressed out, we get angry, and there's no need for that. So instead, maybe going more with the flow this week. Perhaps I want to get a few of these things done today. If I don't get everything done, that's cool too. Maybe it wasn't meant to get done today. And I know that goes against the way society likes to operate, but we remember that perhaps the way society has been operating is not in our best interests. There's a lot of people, like, Heather was talking about taking a break from social media, taking a step back. It's time for us to kind of remember our abilities, remembering who we are, remembering our connection to this land, to the world, to the energies that are around us. And it's very hard to do that if we continue to throw ourselves into the conventional routine. So, this is about taking a step back as well, another form of simplifying. And above all, enjoy your time. If you can look in the mirror at the end of the night and say, I've enjoyed what I've done today, I am happy with what I've done with myself and with my friends today, my family, my partner, whatever it may be, it's a good day. So we never want to burden ourselves. There's enough already trying to burden us, no need to burden ourselves. So let's go to bed with feeling at peace with ourselves and what we've accomplished or not accomplished, which is also an accomplishment. All right. All right. Excellent. I love that message for this week. I can definitely use some simplification sometimes. Sometimes I like to over make things a little extra and they don't need to be. This is very true. All right, so let's see. Let's go back. I missed some of your messages. Silver Star says, okay, I pulled a card from Earth Magic, fearlessness, removing obstacles. The energy of this precious of the or priestess of the horror springs movement and magic into your life. The horses, a creature of power, has long represented freedom. This card signals that the time is right for you to free yourself of the obstacles blocking your movement forward. You may have been hesitant or even afraid to face those obstacles before. And I am loving the horse energy. Susie said horse medicine. Love that. I definitely have a connection to horses. Love it. Caitlin said first card from Vanessa as Wild Muse Oracle is claim your energy. Silver Star says, now there is a greater courage growing within you. I have the power to remove inner and outer blocks. I am fearless in my choice and honor myself. Yeah, James is definitely talking about horses coming in a lot lately. They have been. And I've been connected to horses since I was very young. I used to have a stack of like Equus magazine. I wanted to read all about horses. Amanisha's here. Hello, hello. How are you? Heather said, I concur, James. It's been coming out a lot in multiple readings. And Janine said, for Dana, happy birthday for you. I got Page of Cups, Eight of Wands with the stars, Lenormand in the middle. Amanisha says, Tara, I didn't tell you that Mindy turned 20 years old, and on February 9th, I had to let her go. So she crossed over the rainbow bridge. Well, that just means that she is connected with all our lovely furry, feathery, and scaly friends that have crossed over. Every time I look into, doing pet readings and things like that, it just looks so beautiful. The animal energies that come across, all the ones that have shed their earthly bodies and they're in spirit. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see them and feel them. Susan said, never be afraid of how powerful we all are, is my download. There we go. Caitlin said, next card from the Goddess Power Oracle is Japanese goddess Uzumi, representing humor. There we go. And James said, Susie and Silverstar, we found a horse spine the other day out in the forest. If horse spine doesn't say strength, stability, and power, then I don't know what does. Exactly. And it's the cervical spine, meaning it's the part that's connected to the head. So it's representing our strength. And since the rest of the kind of the way I was kind of seeing it too is since the rest of the body isn't with it, meaning like the rest of the spine. And since the head isn't connected, it's looking at the thing that connects the two worlds, our ego and our spirit, which is the human body, and keeping that in balance and being reminded that balance is a form of strength. That's kind of the message I was getting from our horse spine. But yeah, it's sitting out on the cabin deck right now. You know me, I like my bones. Caitlin said, from the Mystic Sisters Oracle, I got the Greek goddess Artemis, goddess of the hunt. You know what? I was just reading up on some Artemis stuff yesterday as I was like just looking through things. Amanisha said she left Enso, the Siamese, and both of us are lost. Well, you know what? You can always, when you get down into meditation or prayer or whatever it is you want to do to connect, but go ahead and call in Mindy's energy, and just you can talk aloud. They always hear us. Even though they're not there physically, their spirit is there. So you could still talk aloud. You can share your feelings, and I think that it's very cathartic as well. It's good for the healing process, to continue to include them, even though sometimes we can't see them, but still include them in the things that you're doing and the things that you're thinking. And you can even, do a little something extra in honor or in name of that animal or even a person who has passed away. And I think that still including them in the things that you do helps us to not feel like something has been lost, but they're still there, but just in a transmuted form. Heather said, wow, James was the one in the walk about you. All I found, wow, just wow. Yes. Oh, yeah. He was the one that actually found the spine. I'm the one that collects the bones. Okay, so let's put this away. And then I wanted to get to our special question, which is one that you guys got to vote on in the public poll. My YouTube members and my Patreon homies got to vote as well. So I know that some of you are on Patreon and my YouTube membership. So technically they got 3 votes because they also had the public poll. But some people who are, Patreon and they could do the public poll, they get 2 votes. So if there's a question, a burning question they really want answered, they get double votes. So just another little perk for those who support the channel. So I thank you guys very much. And I thank you to everybody on the public poll who voted as well, but it seemed pretty unanimous. I mean, there was votes for other questions, but there was one question that pretty much stood out for the votes, not only on Patreon, but my YouTube members and the public poll as well. So it was pretty clear. Oh, and the birdies just went flying overhead. We have been having a beautiful aviary of like just tweets every morning. It's been lovely. We've also been feeding them, so maybe that's helping. Amanisha says, I got a book called Griffin's Heart. Look it up. It helps a lot. I will definitely, as I'm always looking for books. Heather said, I work with Epona. She came to me in a dream as a horse as a kid. I always was around them. My favorite one was the white one because I believe that connection to Epona. I believe, very nice. See, James says, I don't know if we found it in a walkabout video, but you can see the spine on our Instagram account. Yeah, you guys, if you want to check out our kind of homesteady stuff and just kind of like what we do around here. It doesn't have like a whole lot of our spiritual stuff in there, but just kind of what we do here. And you can check it out at AZ Off Grid. That's our little homestead off gridding account if you guys want to go look it up. But we also have our Desert Cauldron. That's more of our witchy account. So at desert.cauldron, you can check us out there. And of course, for me, at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. That's my other IG account. Or you guys can go follow James and learn about crystals and everything crystally and soaking in those lovely crystal vibes at Light of Riga. So it's the same as his screen name. So you can definitely look it up. See, Heather said Night Daughters Oracle. She's in quite a few things represented. I love it. Excellent. Susie says she's definitely going to check it out. Heather's like, I know I saw it somewhere. It says, thanks, James. I couldn't remember where I watched it. Okay, so here we go. The winning question. I mean, they're all like winning questions, I guess. Okay, what is being hidden in regards to school shootings? You know me, I like to throw in questions of things that people are talking about, things that I see, coming up, and I put those in as our questions. And so a lot of people, obviously, there's a lot of emotion, attached to those because it is innocent children and people want answers. Why does it seem that more in the modern era, even though we've always had guns, we've had guns for a long time. Some people think it only goes back to the 1800s. No, the first gun goes way, way back. And so if they've been here for so long, why does it feel like only in the modern era do we have these shootings? And so some people feel it's because things, the shooter gets the coverage that they want, on the news, even though sometimes they don't live after the shooting. They want that fame. Some people say that it's an MK Ultra project, that they're being activated as a way to create chaos. Some people say it's all made up. Some people say it's partially made up, where maybe some actual people go in and do the shootings, and then they throw in an innocent person and throw them under the bus and say this was the person that did it. I want to just kind of look into maybe what is one area that is being hidden from us, because obviously a lot is being hidden from us, and that's why we have to go inwards, because we can't rely on what we see in social media or on the news, because there's always going to be some sort of bias. There's always going to be some sort of skewing of the information, whether people are trying to push an agenda or they're just trying to push their beliefs, or perhaps they're pushing a religious belief or they're pushing a political belief. We want to go beyond that. That's what all this spiritual stuff is about, is going beyond that physical stuff, looking outside of us and looking within. What is really going on? Because once we can pinpoint that, maybe we can halt this. Maybe we can stop, because obviously we don't want to see any more of these types of things going on. They are tragedies. It is very sad. My heart goes out to all those parents, and the innocent lives that are lost, for the adults and for the children. So let's go ahead and pull a card on that then, to at least look into one area that's being hidden. Let's see. Let's go back here. Oops, I went back too far. Let's see. Almanisha said bullying. Oh, and it could be about bullying. The shooters were bullied. It could be that as well. Night Daughter had pulled for Heather the goddess power cards for you to ask how your year off will turn out. And I got Artemis, Focus, Yuki Onna, Stillness, and Spider Woman co-creation. Beautiful. And Kwanya and Compassion is the overall energy. And James says, sounds like it's time to check the ego. Yes, definitely. I agree. I agree. Heather said, thank you. That makes so much sense. I appreciate you pulling those cards, Caitlin. Okay, so I am going to use the earthly souls and spirits for this one. And again, just like James said, I'm going to get myself nice and grounded, because obviously when we talk about even if we just say the words school shooting, that's going to trigger us in some particular way. We have obviously our own thoughts and our opinions about it, our beliefs about it, but we want to put the ego aside and let's just allow truth to come through. Whether or not the ego likes that truth is irrelevant. We just want truth. I don't know about you, but I don't like being deceived, especially by my own ego. So let's go ahead, get nice and grounded. I know that this is a sensitive topic, but like I said, I just want to look into one aspect. Okay. Hey, I'm just going to put these cards back in the box so they don't fly away here. Okay. Ooh, we have inspire. Dana said, I agree, truth is needed. Amanisha said, school shootings are a trigger for me, so I'm sorry. I'll talk to you later. No worries. Yeah, obviously, if it's too much, it's okay. All right, so okay, before the message comes through, I just want to note that I can feel it in my heart physically, my physical heart, as it's skipping a little bit, which I know that this means it's definitely the heart of the collective, that it is damaging to that heart chakra. So, like I said, we were just looking into one area, and that one area is that whether it's obvious or not, these shootings are being promoted not only on a physical but an energetic level. It's many of the reasons that people say they occur. It's not obviously just one reason. We can't say it's just the guns are the reason of the school shootings. It's not just the bullying that is the reason for the school shootings, or the media coverage, or a secret project that the government is working on. It's always multifaceted. And when things are multifaceted, it's very good at keeping things hidden because we like simplicity, right? We want one answer so that we can fix that one thing. We can go after that one root. But what if there were a lot of different routes, a lot of different agendas, a lot of different reasons? It's hard to go after all those different things. Keeps people fighting amongst each other and saying, you're the reason these things continue. No, you're the reason these things continue. And the fighting continues and nothing gets solved. So, in a way, these tragedies are being used to have us share in the grief, if that makes sense. For people to see what an impact it has on others. Look how sad they are. Look how much their heart chakra is hurting. And when they're in that vulnerable, sad state, many people are easily manipulated. So there is an aspect of manipulation of how they feel and where they need to place their anger or their sadness. But I said it was multifaceted. So there's not only that, but the way in which dealing with one's own energy and their thoughts as a teenager, as a child, as a young adult, the understanding your own mind, understanding your human self, the spiritual aspect of ourselves. You can say religion or beliefs, but much of that is being pulled out, our connection to the self. And when you take away people's connection to the self, and you leave a child or a young adult or whoever it may be frustrated, they don't know how to deal with their emotions, they don't know how to deal with, say, their mental health. What do I do? And all the outlets on purpose have been taken away for them to ground themselves, to help themselves, to heal themselves truly, not pharmaceutical healing, but true internal healing. When that is taken away, all they know is how to react in the external. They don't know how to go internal. So, this is another aspect. And also, unfortunately, death is used to sway people's beliefs, opinions, and attitudes, whether it be in riots, in school shootings. One of the oldest jokes that we have is what is black and white and red all over. People say the newspaper. This is the way mass news has been pushed to push an entire populace. Fill it with red. People respond to red. They respond to anguish. But you know what? We also respond to love. And a lot of that is missing from what we're presented with. And so the more that is taken away, the more people feel that there is no love. And we are stepping out of that heart chakra. And we feel that there's only tragedy, there's only sadness. And when people feel helpless like that, they start to look for a savior. Help us. Because the days of being taught to look inwards are not there. Whoa. Whoa. Well, that was intense. And I had to really hold my ego back because my ego was getting emotional and I was just like trying to get the messages out. But I will definitely have a sit with that too. My goodness. Okay, I know you guys had some messages too, so let me go back here. Susie said, Amanisha, have a lovely day. Sorry about Mindy. Hugs. Caitlin said, to answer the question about the shootings from the Mystic Sisters Oracle, I got the Celtic goddess and fire Brigitte as the overall energy mix. My goddess. Long hair, skinny eye toe. Hello, hello. How are you? Susie said, makes sense. Caitlin said, Nyx is the goddess of night, and combined with the goddess of fire, what was hidden in the shadows, night, is being brought to the light, which is fire. Awesome. This is no wonder I've been worn out lately. My goddess is at work. Oh my goodness. Susie, I have to go grab her coffee. Susie said the broken compass is the news. And Heather said, polarities are surfacing your polarity to prioritize the needs and wishes of others. Demands and dismissal and marginalization are occurring. Disrespect from people. It's time to say enough. I agree. Dana said agendas put out emotional manipulation. And Dana said it's time for us to stay wise and see beyond what our eyes and the physical see, so much behind the scenes. Exactly. And Caitlin said, Goddess of Fire is burning away the false stories, and Nyx is shining her moonlight and stars to bring light to the dark. And James said, the media is an enemy to humanity, and the news is programming used to manipulate us into manifesting their desired reality. And Heather said, yes, they're using the manipulation to keep that polarity, because when we're stuck in fear, then you're not looking outside your situation around you. Yes. So it's unfortunate, but like you guys have been saying, you know, I feel good about the changes that are occurring, that, you know, as Susie has said about the age of Aquarius, that truth is coming out. Neutral, that's where I believe that truth lives, is in neutrality. It's neither positive nor negative. It's just how we see it, as positive or negative, but it just is. Truth just is. And I think a lot of that truth being just is coming out. And you know, it's uncomfortable for a lot of people, hence why it feels like tensions are rising or like a lot of stuff is happening. But it's just what happens just before a butterfly emerges from a chrysalis. You know, you have this entire butterfly and this tiny little chrysalis. It's all bulked up. It's got wings now, but it's all crunched in. It's in a moment of darkness. And just as it starts to emerge, it's like, oh my gosh, there's light, and what's been happening? I've been gone for so long, and like it's in a brand new form. And of course, there's going to be, you know, it's going to be scary at first, and it's going to be a lot of finger pointing and all of this, until we realize we're just becoming anew. You know, we are going into that new earth, and I know that a lot of good things are happening as well. I know that the shadow would have us believe that it's only negativity that's happening, that things are getting worse, so to speak. And I don't believe that's true. I think that's just what we're being presented with. But I think that a lot of good is happening, a lot of transformation is happening, a lot of truth is coming out. So I'm happy with what's coming up, and that people are finally asking questions, and people are saying, you know, how do I know that what you're telling me is the truth? And now they're being forced to go inwards, which is wonderful. You know, never take even what I say, you never take what I say at face value. Let it run through your own filter, your own, you know, internal mechanism, and your spirit. Does this resonate with me? Yes or no? And truly your spirit, not your ego. And so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I see everybody saying, yes, exactly. Heather said, I meant you can't see anything outside that fear. Exactly. This is maybe I'm overthinking. No worries. Susan said, Heather, you always have powerful messages. Yes, you do. And James said, healing the third eye chakra is what truly allows one to see the deception and our programming. Yep. Important messages. Important messages. Okay, so let me put this back here. And I want to get to the viewers poll. I think you guys might like this one. I mean, I hope that you like all the viewers polls, but hold on here. What is going on with this box? Come on now. work with me. Okay. All right, let's see. Who do I want to use? I'm going to use the ice cream oracle. Let's use the ice cream oracle for this one. Okay, so the viewers poll. I have a couple of simple questions for you guys. If you don't know what the viewers poll is, I ask two questions. If you like the first question I ask you to vote with a red heart emoji so I can count up all those red hearts and see if that's the winning vote. Or if you don't have access to your emojis, just type the words red heart. If you like the second question that I pose, go ahead and vote with a green heart emoji or just type the words green heart. Okay. James says, I stopped believing the news when my third eye opened, and maybe it was the other, or maybe it was the other way around. And Susie says, James, I hear ya. Okay, so here are your two options. Option number one, or question number one, what message does Anna have for us? Anna, as many of you know, is a resident spirit on this land. It's a fragment of her spirit, actually. She has already ascended beyond, but she has, of her own free will, opted to have a piece of her soul to stay as a part of this land, as kind of like a caretaker of the land. So she speaks from time to time. She's not overly zealous about speaking on the internet, but she felt like it would be okay in this instance. So if you would like a message from Anna, I ask you to vote with a red heart emoji. Now, question number two is actually a message from Mika. And Mika is another resident spirit on this land, but he's more of the spokesperson for the land. So he's much more talkative and a lot more chatty. But he's more the voice of this energy here, whereas Anna can kind of speak about her people, but also about like working with the things around here. And their messages do transcend beyond this land, so they would be beneficial for you guys, not just for here. So, all right. Um, Let me look here. Silver says, I don't think I really watch the news nonsense. I was a kid, definitely feel that, James. Caitlin says, I asked the wild muse, what will the outcome to this change be? And I got disconnect. Multiple streams and every step counts with rehabilitation as the overall energy. And James says, I don't just mean the news though, but their projected version of reality. Exactly. All right, so we have some votes coming in. So question number one is for Anna's message. Question number two is for Mika's message. So Anna is a red heart, Mika is a green heart. Here we go. Do, 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 do. Any message would be beneficial. Do, 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 do. All right. So you guys go ahead and continue to vote. I will get these cards ready for you guys. So again, red heart emoji if you want to hear a nice message from Anna or whatever it is she has to say. A green heart if you want to hear from Mika. All right. So let's see. So Lisa coming in with a red heart. Susie coming in with a red heart. Long hair, skinny eye toe coming in with a red heart. And Heather said it is 12-12 here. Looks like it is maybe unanimous for for our girl, for Anna. James also coming in with a red heart. Anna, all right. Everybody wants to hear from Anna. She doesn't always speak too often. Like, I mean, she got to have her, we did a YouTube video with her, a channeling with her, but she's, usually very shy. But when I was kind of coming up with the viewers poll questions, and I was like, Anna, would you mind giving a message? And she's like, okay, like, as long as it's just a little thing. I was like, okay. All right. So we have our ice cream oracle here. Let me just, it is so easy to bring her energy in. And always when I see her, she always has her blanket around her, her Navajo blanket, Dene, I should say. Ooh. Okay, Anna, I guess it's going to be our card. You got it, girl. Okay, before I look at the card, Anna's just talking. So she was pulling her blanket closer around her. I think she's commenting on what I said to James earlier because we were talking about the wind, and James was saying, why is it like it feels like we get one good day and then like all kinds of weather that just keeps us inside? And I was saying, that obviously I think a lot of this weather is unnatural, because it's only when our skies uh, turn into a tic-tac-toe board that the winds come in, and it's just the land's reaction to, wanting to clear itself. But Anna is like putting her hand out to the wind, and she's saying that, the wind's always been a powerful source here, a powerful energy that they use. But she says she's upset. Grandma is upset. The grandmother is the energy that comes forward as being a part of the wind. So she's in agreement that it's not natural. It's not this windy all the time. Okay, so now she's acknowledging the card. All right, okay, I got you. Um, so it's Rocky Road, adventure, preparation, and challenge. Rocky Road. I love Rocky Road ever since I watched The Goonies. Um, let's see. James says, I walked past her grave a few times yesterday. She deaf wants to speak. Yeah, I think that's also, she was probably the one niggling me saying, maybe maybe you can say if you want to do a message from me or Mika. Night Oracle. So this is my first experience with Anna. Marry me, Anna. She's a beautiful soul. Okay. Okay, you guys. She wants in. So she says it's not going to be long. I'm just going to do a very quick channeling. Many people want to think that they want something to come to an end. If they're suffering, then perhaps this means that something is bad. It's not so. It's merely a preparation. Things are just beginning. Beginnings are beautiful. We understand this. If we look at your body, the red earth, and we say, my body is in pain, my eye hurts, or my stomach is no good, then there's something wrong and we must put an end to it. But the body is a spirit. The skin has a spirit. The organs, we believe, has a spirit. And we ask the eye, why do you scream in pain? Why do you make me feel this way? What do you want to say? And you listen. You listen to the eye. Yes, you go to the medicine man. He will make herbs or a steam for your eye. You know you will be healed in your physical, but the eye will come back if you don't listen. And once you have listened, you have some new beginning, some message that was not in your thoughts before, but now is there for incorporation. And you begin something new. From that day is a new day, new journey. You have new information. Same for any part of your body. You are considered my future. I am considered your past. In the future, you've come away from what you are, We say we are the red clay. We come up, we are made, we go down, we make plants, we become hogans, we get transmuted. But you forget you're everything. The Great Spirit makes us everything. We are Great Spirit. We are the land. And so if there's something new that you learn from the I, let's say, then everybody knows it and everybody feels it. And it is a new beginning for everything and everyone. So if your body is also everything, and you see that the tree is suffering, or a community is suffering, or a tragedy happens, we don't get mad at the tragedy. We don't get mad at the disease. We say, what are they trying to tell us? How have we created this energy? What is Great Spirit trying to say? We learn, and then there's true healing. It never happens again. And again, everything will learn this lesson. Everyone. Think about this next time the people in charge of events speak to you. And ask yourself, why have we created this energy? What are we to learn? In that, new beginning, new lesson, new day. Aho. All right. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anna is such a nice presence to have. I love her so much. She hasn't spoken in a little while, but she definitely had something to say. So have a little bit of water there. All right. Anna dropping knowledge bombs. Okay, missed some of your comments. Let's see here. Um, Caitlin said, hold on, Navajo. I pulled Spider Woman for Heather, and she's a Navajo goddess. James says, we live on the site of a 400-plus-year-old Navajo village. A part of their spirits reside here. And Janine said, Susie, Page of Cups for you, sensitive and daydreaming. Four swords, necessary to take time out for yourself to relax and replenish. The bouquet, joy, contentment, beauty, and appreciation, and nice cards. Heather said, I took as a night daughter. I need to look into her, just saying I've been hearing her name. So yeah. Caitlin says, I pulled a card from Goddess Power, and it is Aphrodite, romantic love. Hey, everybody giving it up for Anna. And she's so, like when I view her spirit, she's so small in stature. I would say she's like under 5 feet tall. She always has her blankie around her. She's got these round, chunky cheeks. She's adorable. And her messages are always so big and powerful from, well, her human used to be so, small, but she definitely has a powerful spirit. So I can see why she's decided to kind of leave a piece of herself here, and I truly appreciate it. So thank you, thank you. Maybe leave a little something by her grave today. Maybe I'll go do that. All righty. On that note, before we get to our healing and close out today, if there's anybody who would love to do super chats or super stickers, now would be the time for it. I think I might use my Happy Tarot to do that if anybody wanted to do super chats or super stickers, which is a chance for you to do a more personalized reading with me. So some people do a little donation of here or there. They have like a question that they want answered during this chat. We could do that. If you want something that's a little bit more personal and you don't want everybody in the chat to hear, I do have my readings on my website, so you can check out kittensweightsandtarot.com. I have lots of different types of readings because I know everybody has different types of comfort levels and what they're used to. So I have Lenormand readings there. I have tarot readings. I have mediumship readings. I have direct channelings, which is what I just did with Anna and what you guys can see in the channeling videos with James and I. But yeah, there's a lot of different stuff there in case you guys are interested. But thank you, Dana. But like Dana, you guys can do a little donation and then I do a read for you. And Lisa said, anything for my guides, Astacia, my oldest guide, since I was 8 years old. Wow. And Heather said that was a wonderful message. Thank you, Anna. All right, so Dana's coming in with a birthday message, and I think we need to sing you a little happy birthday, and for everybody who's having birthdays this week. So we'll do that first. Then Dana will pull your birthday message, and then Lisa will pull a message from your guide. So yeah, let's do it. Okay. So first, a little happy birthday. Here we go, Dana. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dana, and all the other cool people that are having birthdays this week, like my daddy. Happy birthday to you. Boop, boop, boopy doop. Happy birthday, guys. Have a wonderful birthday this week. All right, so let's pull you a card, Dana. Nice little birthday message. Let's see. James said that was great. Heal the energy behind the symptoms, not the symptoms themselves. Phone is dying. Gotta go. Thanks for the chat, everyone. Get a reading from Tara. She's the best. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Birthday message for Dana. Dana said, oh, Tara, I'm sending you a huge hug. Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay. Okay, alrighty. I'll put that there so they don't fly away. Oh, we have the Queen of Swords. All right, for my beautiful Aries sister. Let's see. Okay, Dana, I don't think this is your higher self. It might be a guide coming in with your message, but it was like your guide or whoever that was standing there in front of your birthday cake with, you know, the knife to cut the cake. And with this like very slick looking smile on their face, they like cut the cake and says, I'm cutting through the bullshit. But oh, it tastes so good. And they're like licking their fingers from the frosting on the cake. And they're like, oh, trust me, this tastes good, but I also love to cut through the bullshit. And I was like, okay. So let's see what else they have to say. So the guide or whoever this may be, I feel this is more of a guide, is saying when we cut through those things, when we're looking past what the ego can see, it doesn't need to be a violent event. Like it doesn't need to be like, I'm cutting through this BS. You know, they said you can do it with grace. You can do it with love in your heart. It can actually be a really sweet endeavor. It can be a very meaningful and loving situation that occurs when you're cutting through it. But, and I think this is a she's saying when you cut through it though, you are getting to a new layer of understanding. And we have a choice at that moment that as you go through this solar return, as you go through this new year in a new age, if we're talking Gregorian calendar linear, we may we have a choice to either get unsettled and say, I don't accept, what my ego is seeing here. It's a whole crazy mess. All of a sudden the cake turns into some sort of weird poisonous thing. They said, or you can say, oh, well, that's interesting. That's something I didn't know before. And I'm glad that at least I know the truth, whether or not I like it, at least I know it. And in there, we get to the deeper layers and it becomes sweeter and sweeter because we're accepting more and more into our, mm, she's saying our ego. We're disarming the ego so that it can accept more and it gets in the way less when trying to expand yourself. So this is a huge, huge year for you in cutting through layers that you felt uncomfortable to cut through before. So this is a new era of expansion for you. And she's saying, you're probably going to make the choice to make it rather sweet. I think she already knows the choices that you're going to make. And she says it's going to be sweet. Um, at times, it might be a lot of whoa moments, but she says it's going to be sweet and you wouldn't change it for the world. So she's like, enjoy your chocolate cake. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see. A lot of happy birthdays going on. Let me go back here. Oops. And then Dana said, oh, yeah, she was saying, thank you. Everybody's saying, take care to James. Dana said, your voice is beautiful. Ah, thanks. Caitlin, all right. We'll pull a card for Caitlin as well. She said, oh, that's beautiful. Silver Star said, Anna's message really touched my heart. So grateful. I'm glad Anna got to speak. This is great. Dana said, is it my future self? She it was hard to say because all I could see were the hands cutting the cake, and every time I tried to see what entity it was or if it was you, or it was like, nah, you don't get to see it right now. But I didn't get any sort of like deception, like it was a negative entity or anything. It was just, nah, you can't see. Just the message is the most important thing. And I was like, okay. um Let's see. Silver Star also wishing a happy birthday. Susie said, Dana, you are so powerful and I admire your mind. Genius. Look for a genie. Woo! And Caitlin said, Susie, she's a statuette I bought not long after Grand's death. This is the first time I've called on her. Wow. And Dana saying, thank you to Susie and Heather. All right, so Lisa's message from Stacia and Caitlin's message from Mystique. All right. Dana's like, I love chocolate. Wow. Hey, girl, if you're going to have chocolate cake, send me some. Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Dana said, my future self has been coming through so strong. This is amazing. Amazing. All right. So, all right, my girl, Lisa, which thank you, Lisa, for all of your support. I'm happy to call you a friend, and many of you guys have become my good friends in here. You guys know who you are. So, thank you, thank you. Dana said, love my message. It so resonates. Excellent. Okay, Lisa, Stacia. Okay, Lisa, as I'm connecting to your guide, I will say maybe it's just my perception. I think everybody perceives the guides differently. But your guide is very, uh, I wouldn't say human, but like an interesting, quirky, childlike energy. At least that's how I see her in my point of view. And I don't know if you've seen that cartoon, The Snorks. And your guide kind of looks like a snork to me, which I always thought that they were like really cute. So that's just the energy I see. I just wanted to kind of pop that in. Ooh. Oh, okay. Ooh, 9 of Wands. Let's see what she has to say. Okay, so your guide was coming in and saying that lately, as in the past couple of weeks or so, there's something that the reason sometimes you feel kind of down or depressed and you feel like you're struggling with something against yourself. Um, your guide is saying it's not anything that's wrong with you. There's an old programming belief that's coming in from when you were really young, even before Stacia popped in as your guide. Ooh, now the winds are coming in. But this programming has taught you that you are something that you are not. Like sometimes we believe that we're no good, and that's an old programming. Somebody programmed it into us. And so as adults, we say, "Oh, I'm no good," but your guide is saying that's the belief that's coming in is not true. And how do you know it's not true? Because of how it makes you feel. Because when you get depressed, when you get sad, when you get down on yourself, that's your emotions trying to let you know that there is something incongruent that's going on. There's something that isn't balanced within yourself. And it's the thought that's causing the grief because the soul knows and the Liesel of today knows that that's not true. And so there's a struggle going on, kind of like the 9 of Wands here. And your guide's saying, so inside your head, there is this, Liesel, you're this. And you're like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. So you become very sad. And she's saying you tend to attack yourself, saying, oh, and maybe I feel this way because it's true. No, wouldn't we feel good if we knew something was true? Even if it was a harsh truth, at least we would know it's the truth. We would feel a lot differently, right? So she says your greatest barometer is those emotions. When you feel sad, when you feel depressed, that is something saying that something isn't balanced. You're thinking about something or believing something that possibly isn't true. And so she says you're kind of working through this right now. You're going through a releasing phase. So a lot of stuff that's coming up, almost like she's showing me those quarter machines where you turn it and then a little toy pops out, in a little plastic ball. And she's saying it's kind of like that where you're putting in the quarter, you say I'm ready for another healing, you turn the thing, a little toy pops out, but instead of a toy it's an old belief, and you crack it open and I don't know, and then she says what you do with it is you say, well, this has been with me long enough. I thank it for all the messages that it's given me, all the lessons that I've learned, all the things I was able to gain from this, but I let this go now. She goes, in time to grab something else from the machine. So she says, if you're wondering kind of what all this like energy and emotions and all this, she goes, it's that you're working through those. Finally, she goes, this is a time for old stuff to come up because it's not you in the present. And she says, just in case you were wondering, I absolutely adore the you in the present. She says, I've always loved you, but it's time to let certain things go. And that's okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. Just want to see your messages. Erasing, thank you. Lisa said yes. Susie is sending her love, Stacia. And Silver Star says, Dana, I pulled a few cards, more like spirit chose them. Loss, lack, fear, and victimization, and river of blessings. Releasing constants, it flows with Tara's message. Nice. Lisa's like, yeah, she's quirky. Dana says, OMG, I love snorks. I used to watch that cartoon. They were the underwater cuties, if I remember correctly. Yes, exactly. Oh, Caitlin also pulled a card for Lisa from the Wild Muse, and she got rehabilitation, get some rest. Heather says, I love the snorks. OMG, I forgot about them. Me too, until her guide kind of like triggered my memory. It says the Smurfs, Rainbow Bright, and My Little Ponies. Dude, those were my jams. Lisa says incongruent. Yes, a word she does use. Susie says these are wonderful. Sending hugs to Lisa. Lisa said, bless up, Stacia. Thanks, Tara. You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me connect to her. She had a very, yeah, like I said, like the snorks, like quirky, like fun. I loved it. Caitlin says, I have Mystique beside me now and cleaned her off. Aw. Oh, Heather says, I meant constraints. I apologize. Caitlin says, I'm going to keep her on my nightstand from now on. Excellent. All right. So Caitlin also had a question. Let me just go back here real quick. And she said, messages from my fairy guide, Mystique. All right, let's do it. A lot of fun, happy guides here. I love it. We got to hang out with Anna. We got to hang out with Stacia. We got to hang out with Dana's future self. Now we're going to hang out with Mystique. Okay, let me just tap into that energy. All right, Caitlin, so I just see like this little tiny fairy just kind of like caressing your jaw, saying, aw, aw. Like, even though they're so, like how I see fairies, so little, but yet having this kind of like mothering energy for you, like taking care of you. Okay, let's pull her a card. Oh, you got the strength card. Excellent. Okay, so let's tap into this one. Mystique is like tapping her ear. She says, you heard the other message. You heard the other message. Sometimes messages are for more than just one. They could be for you too. They could stick to you like glue. Oh my gosh, she has such a cute, like musical energy. She says sometimes pain is no pain at all, but a symptom of not truth that becomes withdrawal. She's like, she will be just fine, right as rain. But she's just going on talking about some other things, just like, because she keeps referencing Liesel's guide. So it's like they're chatting with each other actually at the moment. But the same, not exactly the same type of message, but a similar theme where, again, you know, things are coming up sometimes in the physical body, sometimes in the physical around you. And it's just because it's time for those to come up, but you don't know they're there unless they're in your face. And sometimes, unless they cause us distress, we don't listen or we don't pay attention. If something is just kind of a sort of a niggling feeling, she says you'll just tend to brush it off and say, oh, I'll deal with it another time, or I'll deal with it next time. But she says if something is in your face and it's physically keeping you from moving or doing something, or it makes you upset, then you have to stop and pause and say, what is going on? Why am I so upset? And she's saying that there's just a lot that you, not a lot, but she goes, there's a few things that you believe about yourself that aren't true. And because of that, it's creating certain things to come up, not as a punishment or anything, about being a bad person. She goes, that's not it at all. It's to show you that those non-truths, kind of like what Stacia was talking about, the only way they can be looked at sometimes is if they are shown in physicality, whether physically in our bodies or physically in another person or a situation or an argument or a conflict or something like that, so that we can look at the message within it and not what the argument itself was about, not what the pain in the body was about, which I guess this is actually also stemming off of Anna's message as well. It's such a musical, poetic energy. She says, you like Little Boy Blue? I like him too. And guess what? He loves you, and I do too. Oh my goodness. I don't know what Little Boy Blue has to do with this, but perhaps it makes sense to you. It's so interesting because it's such a like a whimsical, poetic energy, but at the same time coming across as like a mothering energy to you. So you're headed in the right direction, Caitlin. Keep it up. All right. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Um, Susie said, Caitlin, leave her a coin and some cinnamon or a cake. And Heather said, Liesel, Spirit chose two cards for you: building your own world, creation, expansion, networking, and preconditioned psychic ability. Future vision so suits you. Susie says, next time you can. Caitlin said if she had some of those things, she would share them, of course. Caitlin said, so the get some rest card is for me too. Yes, definitely. Lisa telling Heather, thank you. And Heather said it was preconditioned. Yes. um, yeah. So, wow. Thank you guys. Thank you for letting me connect to such beautiful energies. Caitlin says, the little boy blue. Brian is 5'6", only a half inch taller than me. Aw. Little boy blue. That's cute. Okay. So let's go into a healing here. I would like to just do an energetic healing. And my intention for this is to aid us in our reconnection to the self, our reconnection to the frequency and the vibration that we call planet Earth, the frequency of source, which is also the frequency of truth, of love, of neutrality, and all of the polarities mixed in, but just seeing everything as is. So no matter what it is that we're working through right now, which we're all going through our different things, whether in our physical bodies or just in our physical realities, that this be just to help us to open up, and to help us and to aid us through that process. That's my intention. Yes, to aid us through this changing process as we all go through our different chrysalises, and as the earth goes through her chrysalis phase as well. Susie said, all is well. I hear this. All right. So I ask you guys to join in on this as well. So however it is that you guys send energy, whether you send it in the form of Reiki, the Care Bear stare, whatever you guys do, I like to imagine that energy is flowing through me and out my heart chakra. out to you guys. So I guess it's kind of like a Care Bear stare. But yeah, let's just push that energy out to everyone, not just the people in the chat, but to everyone in the world who is open to that. So whether or not they know us is of little consequence because the collective consciousness is all one. Therefore, we all know each other at some level, whether we're conscious of it or not. So for all of us, for ourselves and for everyone, let's put that out there that this is to help us along on our growth, our expansion, our search for truth, our reconnection to source, and our reconnection to our heart, to ourselves. All right. And and that maybe we get the best healing possible for best and highest good. All right. Let's go, you guys. Get nice and comfy. You guys could be laying down, you could be sitting down, but I want you to bring your attention into your heart chakra. Bring all your awareness right here. If you have to put your hands over your heart to feel it, go ahead. Feel that beat, that thump thump in your chest, reminding you of the life force being pumped through your body as we speak, the physical blood and all of the functions of the organs, all keeping this human vessel here with us. But all of that wouldn't work at all without the spirit that is within this vessel at this moment. And we call our spirit to the heart. And we breathe in and out. All right, and open up that heart chakra. And I encourage you to be open to all the healing from all of our friends all over the world, sending us healing, sharing this healing right now. All right, you guys. Whew, that's a beautiful energy. I was actually, Anna came down to help out with that healing. And she was looking over at how I was pushing out the energy with my hands. And she says, well, for me and my people, when I was here on earth, we go like this. She says, from here to spirit. And I said, okay. She says, or if you want, she says, you could put your hands here, here, and push out. So I said, oh, thank you. So she was doing that with you guys. That was amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. I truly do appreciate every one of you, all of you guys that allowed me to read for you. Thank you for the donations, all the people that have participated in the chat. You pulled cards for each other. My YouTube members, my Patreon homies, my subscribers, everybody that gave this a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm glad that I could share my Sunday with you guys. It's always a fun day. Caitlin said, I just heard one of Brian's lyrics. Don't give up on the dream. Don't give up on the wanting because I want you to. Aww. That's Awesome. Lisa said that's beautiful, Anna. Janine said goodbye, everyone. All right, I will catch you guys next week. Yeah, all right. So have a lovely rest of your Sunday. Have a beautiful week. Remember, keep it simple this week. That was the message. Love you guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye.